Hello everyone, I am Yurii Shulipa, candidate for participation on the platform Russian Democratic Forces at the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, lawyer, political expert, director of the International Union Institute of National Politics. I am the author of 10 books, including the monograph How Putin Kills Abroad and Putin's Military Plans Against Ukraine in 2021, which unfortunately were implemented with great precision by the Kremlin against Ukraine. At the beginning of October, I submitted an individual application to participate in the platform of Russian Democratic Forces, and my nomination was supported by a number of influential democratic organizations. I recognize that the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria is an independent state from Russia. I admit that the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria is now temporarily occupied by Moscow. I would like to inform you that I have an active group of supporters from among those who come from the territory of Russian Federation, both current and former Russians. For example, my supporters from among the residents of Moscow region believe that Moscow has infinitely colonized the nationalities of Russia. They frankly believe that Moscow should reparate for the centuries old colonization and genocide of nationalities located within the internationality recognized borders of Russian Federation and the zones of its occupation. They rightly believe that Moscow should pay reparation to the indigenous nationalities from centuries of colonial oppression and genocide. Why did I decide to be nominated to the Assembly? Because the platform of the Russian Democratic Forces and the Assembly provides an opportunity to govern, to Assembly delegated the truth about Russia. Therefore, I hope for an honest multilateral dialogue. Inviting official Russian delegation to the Council of Europe was a very big historical mistake. During presence of the Russian official delegation in Assembly from Moscow had been used by Assembly as a tool for implementing its criminal subversive policy against Europe. The Russian delegation was mainly engaged in disinformation of the political of Council of Europe and carried out subversive activities against universally recognized principles and values. What do I plan to do in the Assembly? What is my mission in Assembly? First of all, I will call things by their proper names. Secondly, I will carry out my mission in accordance with the condition of Moscow's war against the collective West. With my advice and recommendation, I will protest the United Europe from external hostile interference in internal affairs from Moscow. I will carry out mission in accordance with the terms of Moscow war against the collective West. Through my advice and recommendation, I will defend a united Europe from external hostile interference in its internal affairs by Moscow. I fully support all the values and principles of Council of Europe and intend to defend them by participating in the work of the platform of Russian Democratic Forces. My first step I intended to take is to propose the Assembly delegates to adopt a resolution stating that since February 2014, Moscow has launched and weighing a four-hybrid war against the collective West European community, and as an act of historical revisionism and geopolitical revanchism for the collapse on the former USSR in the Third World Cold War. This is very important. The war must be called a war so that the foreign policy of Council of Europe is reoriented towards defending our common aggression. My second step that I intend to take is to propose to the Assembly delegates to adopt a resolution recognizing Russia as a fascist and terrorist state, as well as state sponsor of terrorism, and the Russian regime as invulnerable terrorist dictatorship. My third step is to strengthen the European Union's action regime, in particular due to imperfection of sanctioned Europe communities to trade with the aggressor country, which actually sponsors the war against itself. It's paradox. Moscow's numerous enemy agents also community to activities intimate the foundation of European security architecture. I want Europe to stop being a victim of Russian aggression. I will pay special attention to the usage of defascization, decolonization, deimperialization, and demilitarization of Russia, and compilation of Russian imperialism. I will continue to work on the program of non-repetition of Russian imperialism. I consider my strategic mission in the Assembly to be the completion of Russian central foreign policy, the Council of Europe, when, contrary to the national security, it continues in order to place Moscow, the Council of Europe, following the wishes of Moscow politicians and not the genuine national leaders of the indifferent nationalities of Russia. I am grateful to my colleagues from International Union of Institute of National Politics, the 2024 community, for supporting my candidacy on the Assembly. And the future, I ask for you universal support. Thank you very much for your attention. As usual, please like and subscribe on my channel. Best regards, your Yurii Shulipa.